Hello everyone, welcome back to my e-learning. So the subject is still mathematics and in our focus is on exponents. We're going to spend time doing prime factorization, but before we move on to prime factorization, I want to do two things. The first thing is comparing exponents, and then the second one would be writing exponents in words. But let's start with comparing exponents. Now, let's say you want to compare 2 to the power 5 and 5 to the power 2, and they ask the question, which is larger? Now, the first thing that comes to mind is when you see the words compare, it means you have to use greater than, less than, or equal to sign. So we're going to start by working out 2 to the power 5. So we know that when we're going to write down 2 to the power 5, it means we must have 5 2's. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's equal to, now we're going to first start with the first 2, where you can see I underlined it. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we can say 4 times 2 times 2 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So we know that 2 to the power 5 is 32. Then we need to work out the value of 5 to the power 2. That means 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Now clearly you can see that 32 is larger than 25. So we compare it and we say therefore 2 to the power 5 is greater than 5 to the power 2. Now let's do some writing powers in words. Now the questions say express the following as powers in words. Now if I had 49. So 49, we first need to write it into its exponential form, which is 7 to the power 2. And in words, it's 7 to the power 2 written in words. Then we have 216. We need to break it down to find out what numbers can we multiply together, meaning the same base number, to get 2 and 6. And we found out that it was 6 to the power 3. And then that's how we wrote it in words. 256 is 4 to the power 4. And that's how you write it in words. And then we have different ways of writing 256 in powers depending on what we broke it down into. We could have broke it down into 2 to the power 8 or 16 to the power of 2. And then lastly, 343, that is 700. My apologies. It's 7 to the power of 3. So you can see that this is how you write it in words. You can pause it, write it down, learn it before we move on to prime factorization. Once you've mastered that, you are going to ask yourself, well, I wrote it down, I know how to write it in words, but how do you actually know how to simplify it or how to get 216 to be equal to 6 to the power 3? Or how do you get 256 equal to 4 to the power of 4 or 2 to the power of 8? Or how do I get 343 as 7 to the power of 3? Now, that is how when we're going to use prime factorization. So we're going to write the following in exponential form using prime factorization. So let's say we are, you know how initially last term you learned to do factors. Now it's similar to factors except we're only using prime numbers. So now you have 125. So the prime numbers of what we can use here is 2, 3, 5, 7. Those are the only 4 numbers that we're going to use when we are doing exponents. So now, because it is 125 is a multiple of 5, we're going to use 5. So we say 125 divided by 5 is 25. Then we say 25 divided by 5 is 5. And 5 divided by 5 is 1. So all we do now is we take, if we look at the columns and we drew here on the side, where we got our factors, we look on the left-hand side, we count how many 5s we've used. We've used 1, 2, 3. So we say 125 is 5 to the power 3. And 5 to the power 3, basically 5 times 5 times 5. So this is how we actually work out the exponential form by using prime factors. So let's try another one. If I had 81, so we're going to do our table and we're going to start with, let's try, we can't use 1 because it's a odd number. Sorry. We can't use 2 because it's an odd number. So we're going to try 3. We're going to say 81 divided by 3 is 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So all we do is we count how many 3's we've used, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we say 81 is equal to 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4 is equal to 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, let's try another one, which was 343, which is what we used in the previous example when we were writing it in words. So we gave you the answer already. So let's see, how did we get that? So we said 343 divided by 7 is 49. 49 divided by 7 is 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So how many 7's did we use? We used 3. So it was 7 to the power 3, which is 7 times 7 times 7. Now, for the next example, I'm going to leave you to try and do it on your own. You have 32. You need to work out this table to find out how many 2's you are going to use to get 32 in its exponential form. I'm going to give you the answer, but then you're going to try and work out the table on your own. So you need to get the answer of 2 to the power 5. So I want you to complete this table so you can learn it. Don't forget to go back to the other slides if you need to master the concept. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed my video and learned prime factorizations, comparing and writing numbers in words. Bye everyone and enjoy your day. See you in my next video.